receive this message, but if you do, I'm at our special place. It's completely abandoned now. Everyone has left since the Citadel fell. And if you can, please meet me here. I'll be waiting for you.
The whole idea of reviewing gmod maps, specifically for me, is talking about the feelings and impressions the map evokes. Nostalgia, or calmness, or melancholy, or something else entirely. For quite some time I hadn't found a map or felt that feeling that I could just sit down and talk about it in detail. Until now. Welcome, dear viewers, to Normal Mall. From the surface, Normal Mall isn't something special. There's no top-of-the-line graphical showcase here, no neat tidbits of effects or design that I would say is revolutionary or something. But that is until you start to play it, and then you start to realize the subtle effect the map has on you. But then again, this might be completely nonsense to some people, while to others it might be very relatable. I hate to jump on the liminal bandwagon, but then again, this isn't liminal, or at least not all of it. There is something different. There's this sense of nostalgia, yet it also feels modern. There's longing for time past, and that which is to come. This map is 2009 and 2026 in the same place, same time. The map is quite large. It features this corner of a city where you can see a bunch of housing blocks, industrial buildings, a train station, wind turbines, and of course, the mall. The author of this map, Mahuba, has written some lore and backstory for this map, which I'll summarize quickly. Basically, before the events of Half-Life 1, the local state authorities built this mall to drive some economy to the region. However, after the Zen invasion and then the Combine, and then the 7-Hour War, this whole place was left abandoned. The reason the map is called Normal Mall is because it's just a normal mall. Despite the multiple apocalypses Earth has seen since Half-Life 1, this region and this mall has stayed untouched. Mainly because the Combine have no interest in this place, and the Rebels and the Vortigaunts pass through here, often repairing any decay the mall may face, such as electrical components being broken down or any structural issues. But in the end, the mall remains a cold and closed echo of a past and normalcy no longer existing. What once may have been a bustling part of the city, with this being its main attraction, is all but a shallow husk of its past self. If we talk about the visuals, there's a few things I'd like to point out. First, the outdoor areas. The thing that holds everything together is the skybox and the environment lighting, and the reason is that it's very unorthodox, at least to me. I feel like this is a very experimental sort of lighting to use in a map like this, but paired with the skybox, it makes a lot of sense. The skybox is cloudy, dark, and overcast. A little bit of sunlight is coming in from a small patch in between, and given that this takes place during dusk hours, the shadows cast are long and distant. In some places, the shadows of buildings and the mall take over a good chunk of the other structures behind them. Then there's the texture work. By using Half-Life 2 textures in the majority of the places, it sets this familiar tone in its appearance. And I mean this as a compliment when I say that the texture work is rather rough. On purpose or not, this lack of fine-tuning in some spots or repetition of textures on huge buildings instills this dreamlike feeling to the place. Then with the windy soundscape and the soft glow of the sunlight hitting the map, it further strengthens the dreamlike effect. Apart from the mall, like I said, is the rest of the city block. It has wide open streets, apartment buildings, and then there's the train station and the industrial area with this little forest at the edge. I like the detail that the two ways out of the map, the bridge and the railway, are both destroyed. In the distance you can see the rest of the city, and even farther, a portal storm. The 3D skybox in the direction of the portal storm is really well done. It gives off this impression of how big this city really is, and even in some cases will fool you into thinking the map is actually much bigger than it is. On the other direction, where the turbines are, the land stretches for miles and miles and fades into the fog beyond. Just walking around the outside area feels so relaxing. Granted, there's not much variety to look at, but the map feels cozy if you're into the whole dark and overcast kind of weather like I am. You know the one, right before when it's about to rain and clouds are gathering up and the wind is picking up speed. That kind of weather. But enough about that. Let's talk about the main thing, the mall. The normal mall. Its immediate shopping area is quite large, with multiple floors, stairs, large lobbies, and of course a food court, all abandoned, shuttered, and left to rot. There's also a little play area upstairs for kids too, and fun fact, this is how I found the map. My 3-year-old son and I often look for new maps on the workshop for him to play, and this one caught his attention immediately because of this one screenshot. Looking at the slides in the ball pit, my little man was like, "Yep, download this right now." Anyway, the cold and dark lighting in most of this area feels unnerving, which is quite the contrast to the lighting outside. The design almost feels brutalist in some way, and dare I say, reminds me of the early leaked maps from the Half-Life 2 beta. But then there's more. There's multiple movie theaters, a maintenance area, and a parking area. Just this mall alone could have been its own thing as a map, but having the outside area as well, it turns into this yin and yang sort of ordeal. One part is dark and gritty, and the other is bright and pretty. Mahuba may have their own ambitions and thoughts put into this map which are detailed on the workshop page, but to me, this map invokes longing for times past and hope for the future. It invokes remembrance of people no longer with us and new friends we have made in our journey. It invokes a feeling of being scared of what we don't know and confidence over things we've mastered. And best of all, to me, it invokes the feeling that everything in the end will be alright. Thanks for watching, and thanks to these benefactors for the support. I'll see you in the next one.